What's going on, everyone? So we are in Grand Haven, Michigan today. Ross and I love this area. We've been looking forward to bringing this specific video to you guys, so stay tuned.
Absolutely, let's go.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Kevin Irwin.
And I'm Ross Young.
We are local real estate agents here in the West Michigan area. If this is your very first time to our channel, we go over anything and everything that has to do with living and thriving here in the West Michigan area. So if you're looking to make a move here to Michigan, or maybe you already live here, do not hesitate to reach out to us. The number right here is a direct line to Ross and I, and we are the guys that pick up the phone. Also, make sure that you guys smash that subscribe button because we are constantly putting videos out for you guys, and we would love for you to see them. So without further ado, Ross, let's jump into Grand Haven.
Grand Haven. Oh boy, this place is awesome. It's everything you would expect to find in West Michigan, you know, reading the papers and everything, because you have the Boardwalk, you have the downtown, you have the beaches, you have everything that West Michigan has to offer all in one spot.
Absolutely. So first up is location. Where's this place located, Ross?
All right, so we are due west of Grand Rapids. If you ever look at a map of Michigan, you'll see Grand Rapids is here. Grand Haven is right on the lakeshore.
Yes.
So from Grand Rapids, you drive 45 minutes to the west and you'll run right into Grand Haven. If you go too far, you're in the lake.
That's a problem.
That's the problem. So, you know, average commute here in Grand Haven is about 20 minutes. So if you're looking to, you know, move to the area, your average commute is going to be about 20 minutes, and that'll get you to Holland, to get you to Muskegon, and it'll get you almost to Grand Rapids. Obviously, we just kind of went over that a little bit, but not quite there. So a lot of people that live in Grand Haven, they kind of work locally, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree.
So as we have talked about in other videos, West Michigan is set up like a grid pattern, and there are so many different ways to get to Grand Haven, get in and out of Grand Haven, but there's one thing to notably make a mention of is the drawbridge on the north side of Grand Haven. That drawbridge, I know a lot of people that live here locally in Grand Haven, and they do not work on the other side of the drawbridge to the north because of issues that they've had with it, or boats coming through or whatever, and it could be, say, shut down for a while, and you have to do a long track back around it. So just a little insider for you guys. All right, so we know where Grand Haven is now. Next question is, what is there to do in Grand Haven?
And that is a lot of stuff. We're gonna go change locations because there's just some areas here that I don't really want to talk about. I want to show you guys. So let's head down the boardwalk because there's miles of boardwalk here in Grand Haven, and go check out some of the sites.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so one of the things that I absolutely adore about Grand Haven is this huge, long 2.5 mile boardwalk. So if you are an active person, you love to walk, there is tons of places to explore down this boardwalk, and the views are absolutely stunning. As we've been here talking and getting further and further into Grand Haven, there's been a ton of people walking by. We see a lot of people fishing, and we just got done talking to a DNR officer that's out here doing a survey on the fish here, and he got to tell us all of the best times to fish down here. But we want to hear from you guys, so you're probably not going to be happy about this, but you got to email us to get that info.
Yeah, we're not giving away our fishing secrets. And he also told us what to use, what depth, and everything else like that. So
right,
if you want that information, you're going to have to give us a call.
Yeah, sorry guys,
now,
we can't do it.
Now, the best thing about this boardwalk is it goes from the state park and the city park right at the beach, right on the beach of Lake Michigan, and goes all the way down into downtown Grand Haven. Now, it runs right along the Grand River. Now, this channel has a lot of marinas, has a lot of housing. There is just so much to do on this. And another thing that's on our top things to do in Grand Haven is the musical water fountain that is right outside downtown. We'll go over that in a bit.
Absolutely. So while we're down here, let's go for a little stroll, guys. While we're down here on the boardwalk, one of the big, massive attractions to do here in Grand Haven is actually the Coast Guard Festival. This is a time to celebrate our brave men and women that do, I can't even imagine doing it, but that do protect people out on the waters, because Lake Michigan is massive. This is not just a little lake. You cannot see across it. You cannot see over to Chicago. It's basically an ocean, even though we call it Lake Michigan. So
Grand Haven is considered Coast Guard capital of the United States. All right, so we are at the historic Lighthouse. Now, when you think Grand Haven, I think the staple of Grand Haven on any postcard has got to be this lighthouse right behind us.
Yes.
Now, the pier that goes all the way out to the lighthouse is awesome. And the reason I say this is because you come out here on a Saturday night and that pier is all lit up, and it is just such a nice walk to take with a loved one, or just take a stroll down in the middle of the dark, because everything is black out there. It looks like the ocean. Everything's black out there except for the pier, and it's lit up so awesome. It is definitely a sight to see.
Absolutely. And one word of warning for anybody that's not from this area. There is rip currents out here, so if you're going to be out here playing on the pier, especially when Lake Michigan is really rough, just make sure you're careful. People have passed away out here, so just be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the other thing that Grand Haven is also known for, nationwide really, is their white sandy beaches. Right behind me is the state park, and on the other side is the city park, and they are both absolutely incredible places to visit, especially take your family out for a day trip, or even if you want to visit the area and spend the whole weekend out here. There's a lot of opportunities to either stay out here at a VRBO, Airbnb, hotel, whichever, and you're able to enjoy what Grand Haven has to offer for a long period of time. All right, so one thing I also want to add, with the city beach and the state park here, you can actually camp right on the beach here at the state park. Now, there's also a number of events that are held right on the city beach. Like, for instance, I know a friend of mine who actually holds a pig roast every year right on the beach. They have hula dancers and stuff. It is a huge event, and it's all for that event's for nonprofit, and it's really cool.
So one of the things that I absolutely love about Grand Haven, like this has stuck out in my younger brain, like at going through childhood, this was one of my favorite places to come. The water here it just feels so cool to come here, especially as a kid. You've got the really nice sandy beaches. The kids have a blast. We've taken our daughter here, I don't know how many times, up and along Lake Michigan. So if you guys love water, seriously, you just need to move to Michigan, plain and simple. So let's go check out this lighthouse. All right, guys, so we are driving back into Grand Haven from the beach. Let's talk about housing.
Which is only only a little bit.
Yeah, it's not very far. Let's talk about housing really fast. Grand Haven has a mixture of housing. The average price point here in Grand Haven is right around $387,000. Now, the reason why it's a little bit higher is because of the lakeshore. The lakeshore has a lot of high six-figure houses, a lot of seven-figure houses, and multiple seven-figure houses. Lake Michigan has some of the most stunning and amazing houses in Michigan. I honestly think that Ross and I are going to end up doing some highlights just on some of the housing that is along the lakeshore, but it is absolutely amazing. And how could you not like that? I mean, you're right on Lake Michigan. Most of the houses are perked up a big hill, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So now, not all of the housing here in Grand Haven is that expensive. Some of it is a lot more affordable. We'll let Ross talk a little bit more on that.
You know what, driving in through downtown here, you get an idea that there are a lot of really nice, cozy, I would really call them cozy, not only developments, but also houses in this area. There are a lot of cottage-like feeling houses in this area. Grand Haven spans quite a ways, really. Grand Haven has a mixture of older builds, which is going to be a little more closer to downtown, obviously mixed in with a little bit outskirts. But so Grand Haven has a lot of new housing developments that are going in. Now, Grand Haven is really not that populated compared to other areas of West Michigan. Obviously, when you get into Grand Rapids, you have a lot more like suburbia feel. Even Holland's kind of getting that way where it spans out quite a ways. But Grand Haven is still rather sparse, where you have a lot of land, a lot of farms and orchards on the outskirts of Grand Haven, where there's room for people to put up housing developments or build a new house or even find land in particular to build their new dream house.
So one of the other things that is very big in Grand Haven, and this is the last thing that we'll touch on housing, is the Airbnbs. There is a lot of Airbnbs here in Grand Haven, and part of the reason why Grand Haven is not as popular is because it's really a touristy town. It's kind of seasonal to an extent because obviously, you know, today it's a nice cold, brisk fall day, and winter is coming. So a lot of people are not here during the winter time. A lot of the people along the lake shore, that is a summer house, you know, even if it's way bigger than what we're living in, it might just be a summer house for them and they're going back south. So there is, like, during the summertime, you guys have tons of options. If you want to come up to Michigan, come up to Grand Haven, stay here for a weekend and just kind of visit and feel what this area feels like. So we are downtown. We're going to show you guys downtown real quick. We're going to touch on schools and then what it feels like to live here. So let's go look. So before we show you guys downtown, which is really cool here in Grand Haven, let's jump into schools really fast because I know that's an important piece for a lot of people.
All right, so Grand Haven Public Schools. No, Grand Haven Public Schools has been nationally recognized for arts, athletics, curriculum, and also advanced placement classes. It is a really good school.
It has been consistently ranked in the top 15% of schools in West Michigan too. So it is a very good school system if you have kiddos and you're moving to the area, and that is something that is important to you guys. All right, so we are walking downtown Grand Haven. Downtown Grand Haven has one of the coolest downtowns in West Michigan, in my opinion.
I would agree. I would very much agree.
The cool part about it is that it's wide, and that is because of all of the festivals and the stuff that goes on down here in Grand Haven. And like we said before, this is a very touristy town, and it was built that way with that in mind because of the main attraction, which is Lake Michigan. So during the festival seasons, these streets are lined with people. They're closed down so that you can walk through here. It is really cool.
Yeah, they have carnival rides. They have everything. They have food trucks, carnival rides. Obviously, just like anywhere else in West Michigan, you're gonna find breweries. You're gonna find places to eat, little small boutiques, shops, all those things, all over the place downtown Grand Haven. Okay, so one thing that is really hard to describe, and we're gonna try to do our best for you guys, is how does it feel in downtown Grand Haven? How does Grand Haven feel, you know, when you're walking through it? What's the culture like? And I have to tell you that very similar to a lot of West Michigan, everybody is super nice. You know, we walked down the boardwalk, we said hi to people that were fishing. You know, we had a conversation with some DNR people, and we also talked with a few other people that were just walking around. You know, hey, how's your day going? And it feels very homey. It feels at home. You really feel like you're part of something here.
I would totally agree, and that is why my family has always loved coming to Grand Haven. Even though we don't live here because we want to be closer to Grand Rapids in our personal situation, it just feels so cool to come here. So now we have told you guys a ton about Grand Haven. Honestly, there's a lot more to talk about here. Like, I'm pretty sure that we could probably make a video just on the amount of stuff that there is to do here. So you guys must come check it out yourselves.
Yeah.
And if you do want more information, ask questions down in the comments. We also would love to know other areas of West Michigan you guys want to hear about, or other stuff in West Michigan you want to hear about it, because we're going to keep cranking out these videos and we want to know what the viewers want to know about.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching, guys. Smash that subscribe button so you get notified, and that little bell. So we'll talk to you on the next video.
See ya. We love you. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Kevin is on the phone, so I'm going to be doing the intro today.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone.
Your name is Kevin Irwin, I'm Ross Young.
We are local real estate agents here in the West Michigan area.
Oh my God.
We're in the
West Michigan area.
area. Okay, let's try that one more time.